Hey guys, it's Tiffany, and you found me on the Wise Skies channel. Wise Skies is a metaphysical counseling company that offers one-on-one sessions in astrology, human design, psychic work, and Akashic record readings, and of course, Tarot. So Free Tarot Friday is a sample of our Tarot sessions. I hope you enjoy it. We're going to go through every sign, Aries all the way through Pisces. And if you want to check out what's been going on our blog or join our membership, we're at wiseskiescollective.com. We're doing a membership drive this month, where the price is at $22 and you'll be grandfathered in at that price. It'll raise June 1st. So we invite you to come check it out. I'm going to use 3 decks today because I'm working on the June membership readings and I'm using these 3 decks, and I just wanted to kind of change it up a little bit. I know post eclipse, everybody's feeling kind of different. A lot of green lights turned into red flags. The astrology is what it is, right? And so we are weathering kind of the astrology of May, and I wanted to use the Golden Tarot, my fave, Talking to Heaven, a deck, a mediumship deck, and then the Yogic Path, which is a little further back, but the Yogic Path deck. So, okay, let's start with Aries and see what it is that our Aries need to hear. I just invite anybody receiving the reading. So if you are about to hear your sign, I just invite you to take a deep inhale and relax. Try to soften something. Try to soften anything. You know, just notice where you might be gripping or clenching. You to hear something you might not have heard. So just clearing the deck for Aries and seeing what it is that they need to hear for the weekend ahead. Some practical advice or guidance. All right, we get the Page of Swords reversed with a 6 of Cups upright. All right, guys. So for our Aries, it looks like, you know, the 6s often reflect an imbalance, you know, something that is kind of off kilter that needs to be rebalanced. And so I feel like what might be unbalanced for you is the way that you're thinking about something. And so I don't know what that might mean for you, but it's like, well, it might be time for an outside perspective. It might be time to get some things out of your head and onto paper. It might be that you are in some patterns that are around giving or generosity or receiving or taking on loans or debt or some large amount of money inheritances, right? Like you could be in some kind of old pattern. You could be operating your finances through the lens of like childhood, right? It could be that somebody's being very generous with you. So the 6 of Cups to me also refers to nostalgia, a blast from the past, somebody that you haven't seen in a while, somebody that you want to reconnect with, somebody that you want to get to know better. It could be a walk down memory lane, right? So without the context of a specific question, there are many, many ways to understand these cards together. But for our Aries friends, I would say if you want some simple advice or guidance, something feels a little bit unbalanced in the way that you're perceiving things. And so just taking some time to check in. What's it like to be on the other side of you? Is there something you're missing? Is there an angle that is just kind of like something's caught in your blind side a little bit? That's how I would interpret that. And then for any of our Aries that are also looking for a message from heaven, just know that your loved one is with you and that you will be together again. At Wise Skies, we definitely believe in everlasting life. And we know that we will be with our loved ones once again. So, all right, let's clear the decks for our Taurus friends. Clearing for Taurus. What is it that our Taurus need to hear for the weekend ahead? Some simple advice or guidance. Okay. A little windblown. It is windy here today. All right, so we've got a 7 of Coins and a 9 of Swords reversed. So for our Taurus, to me, this is like really overly worrying about stuff, right? Staying up, having some severe anxiety that you can't quite seem to get out of, like this cyclical pattern of wake up and worry. And it has to do with the 7 of Coins reversed. So it has to do with your ability to provide for yourself. It has to do with your physical body. And I just feel like you have harnessed some fears in your physical body, and that your physical body is just basically being a magnet to repeat those fears, you know? So it's like something happened, your body produced a fight or flight response or freeze response, you stayed in it, and then it's like it didn't get to release, it didn't get to work all the way through. So you're continuing to have this ability. Do I have the ability to provide for myself, right? This is a woman of her own making. She's planted the seeds, the harvest is coming. She has full faith. She's no problem living her life today because the harvest is coming. But these two cards just feel like stuck kind of in the washing machine, like stuck in some kind of cycle. So you are a cycle breaker. You can get out of it. There are many things you can do to have a new experience, right? You can build a new body. You can regenerate your cells. You can work with somatic therapy. You can work with acupuncture. You can work with reframing. It says, although you may not understand it now, everything happens for a reason, Taurus. So maybe you've got a message from a loved one who wants to just remind you that things happen for a reason and that they generally work out how they're supposed to, right? Okay, so let's clear the deck for Gemini and just see what it is that our Gemini friends need to hear for the week ahead. Some simple advice, weekend ahead. Some simple advice for our Geminis watching. What do our Geminis need to hear? All right, we get a Chariot and a Hierophant. Chariot's reversed here. So, all right, so some of you Geminis are having slowdown setbacks in your marriage. Some of you Geminis are questioning your faith, questioning your ability to move forward, kind of questioning your goals and what you've kind of committed your life to. And so you might be going through a major pivot, and I would listen to that. I know I just said it at the beginning of this whole thing, but it's like, hey, wherever your green lights turned into red flags, pay attention, specifically for our Geminis, specifically with significant others, relationships, things that you've devoted your life to, the Pope, your spiritual development. And this could be private, maybe nobody knows that you're considering completely pivoting your life. So whatever is deflating you, right? Let's let go of that and find new faith, new hopes, new dreams, new goals. Let's look at the 11th house for what's going on in your 11th house, any Geminis watching. And for you guys, if you have a desire to receive a message from a loved one on the other side, looks like somebody needs to hear that there's no such thing as death, right? Really kind of a nice message. Let's look that one up. I'm going to just go deep for a second because I have my own opinions there. You guys do too. But let's look at it. It says, I'm as much as alive as you are because our souls are life force energy that can never be extinguished. Only my body has been released, and that was a dense form of energy that was affected by other dense earthly energies. My soul and yours are beautifully fine. We are high vibrational energies which live for eternity. I'm conscious and fully aware of who and where I am. You might even say that I'm more aware now that I'm free of the distractions of the physical world. Please know that I'm happy, healthy, in the spiritual sense. In many ways, I'm even more available to you than I was on earth because I'm more alive than ever. All right, somebody needed that one. I know it. Really beautiful message. All right, let's clear the deck for our Cancers and just see what it is that our Cancer friends need to hear. Feels like intuitively, I'm just understanding that some of you guys are just needing to roll the dice a little bit and get out of your comfort zone, get out of your home, get out of your routine, and just do something a little bit differently. Let's see if the cards agree. All right, we get the 6 of Coins reversed, the 7 of Swords. Whew. All right, so this feels like somebody's cheating, like you're being cheated, you're being robbed of time, maybe even money, check the books and see if there's a drain somewhere. This could be malevolent, but it also could just be like I'm personally responsible for some of the energy drains or the money drains. Like right now, right? I've been subscribed to Ancestry and this astrology thing and that astrology thing. And there's a lot of different, like what else is, I don't know. There's a couple of expenses that I'm like, I don't know about that one. So I can take responsibility and stop the leak, stop the leak. Is it that I'm overspending somewhere, or is it that I just haven't paid attention to my books? Or I've actually had the case of a client where their bookkeeper was actually taking from them. So whenever I get this kind of a setup, I like to tell people to change your passwords, be aware. When I was psychically getting for you guys to do something different, this might be it. It's like change your routine. Maybe somebody's gotten the hang of your bank card, or maybe somebody's gotten the hang of something in your life that you don't need to be quite so predictable about. for your own safety. And I don't want to scare anybody. I just feel like this is usually what that card means for me, which is why I don't like to read it. Feels, again, we got another 6 here, that imbalance in generosity, that imbalance in what's being fair. It could be that some of you guys are overpaying your employees, or maybe you are an employee and you're getting underpaid for the work that you're doing. There seems to be some significant imbalance, so much so that it's maybe even affecting your nervous system, your health. So I want you to take a really good look at some imbalances in your finances, figure out what you're responsible for, figure out where you need to change your routine and pattern, and maybe even get out of your comfort zone a little bit. All right, Cancer, maybe a tough message, but very significant. All right, let's clear the deck for our Cancers who might need to hear from a deceased loved one. I don't always do this in Free Tarot Friday, so if you're new here, this is like a bonus this week for no reason. It says tears cleanse the soul, so maybe some of our Cancers need to get into that crying mode. If you can't, just feel your feelings and express them, all right? If you've been burying stuff down there and just kind of putting it away so that you can deal with life, this might be a good weekend for you to watch a movie or something that triggers that sadness so that you can effectively feel some of those emotions that need to be released, right? All right, let's clear for our Leos. I feel like some of you Leos are getting ready for a party. It feels like there's some big gathering going on. What is it that our Leos need to hear? Whoa. Why? All right, so if you are getting ready for a party, just be aware that you might not need to do a whole lot. This is about doing nothing, and this is about reeling it in, all things in moderation. So if you are going to a party or you're getting ready to celebrate something, try to take the middle road, try to go a little bit early, leave a little bit earlier, play it safe. You don't have to do anything, right? So the Hanged Man reminds us we don't have to fix, argue, defend, explain, right? We don't have to fade. It reminds us that we can stay still and let life come to us. It reminds us that there's a different perspective. It simply reminds us to get our head under our heart, you know, to do a headstand, to lean off the side of the bed and let the heart lead the way, right? So this could be a message about that too. Temperance is when we're overdoing something, and the Hanged Man is when we need to be still and clear. So if you are going out to celebrate something, or if you're not, just make sure that you have some time and stillness for yourself. This is a kind of a setup for detox, right? So more water, more sleep, more hydration, more minerals, things that can help you purge and detox and hydrate are going to be your best bet. So don't overdo it this weekend. You can still have fun. Just try to take the middle road, whatever you're doing. And for our Leos that need to have a message from heaven, your card is that there's no such thing as death. So we got this one a couple of times. We got it, right? We got it. All right, there's no such thing as death. So after our Leos come our Virgos, and I'm just checking in with Spirit to see what it is that our Virgos need to hear for the weekend ahead. Some practical advice or guidance. All right, we get a Knight of Swords reversed and a Queen of Wands. So this can be when you're kind of feeling conflicted, you know, it's like you have a lot of energy and you don't know what to do, or you have a lot of energy and a big to-do list. This is kind of a setup for burnout. So I would say do a lot, get a lot accomplished. Maybe this is a weekend where you can go hard and knock everything off of your to-do list. Just make sure that you are prepared to give yourself plenty of rest too. So this is a setup of confidence. And so just also be aware of how you might be coming across to other people. Like confidence is one thing, cocky is another, right? So just being careful with that. A wise use of your energy would be focusing in on the projects and the tasks that have built up over time and just having a clean slate. Does that make sense? Hopefully to some of you guys. A message from heaven for our Virgos is that there's no time where I am. Time is only on the earth. So I like to use the mantra, time is on my side, when I start to worry about the passage of time. We're here to enjoy the passage of time, right? All right, so Virgos, for you, hopefully that's useful. Let's clear the deck for our Libras. What do our Libras need to hear for the weekend ahead? All All right, we got a Three of Cups and a Chariot, both reversed. So Libras, this is another message of our green lights turned into red flags. Something is slowed down, something's going in reverse. This could be the Three of Cups, you know, generally is about triangulation, partying too much. It can be a celebration, but when it's reversed like this, it's usually that downside of things. There's three's a crowd, right? It's like there's too many people, or you get invited, you think you're going to do some one-on-one time with somebody, and it ends up they've invited 5 other people, and you're like, hey, that's not what I signed up for, type of a feeling. I would just say, don't get frustrated if things slow down or completely pivot. This is like when something looks like it's really just going well and going forward and we're connected and it's a good pair or it's a good partnership or it's a good meetup, and it's actually not. So things aren't what they seem right now, right? Jupiter's next to Neptune in the skies. Some people are making things bigger than is necessary, myself included. You know, I'm not exempt from all of this, right? I've got 4 planets in Libra, and sometimes things feel bigger than they really are. And so this could be a week in Libra where you need to like zoom out, take a step back. Not everything has to be handled in the same day. And just try to look at life on life's terms and accept what really is instead of what could be. You know what I mean? Because what is isn't bad. And if you know what is, you're dealing with the truth, and you can just, you know, move forward with it. My mind is free. So Libras, how do you free your mind? Through human design, right? Book a human design session with us at Wise Skies. My mind is free. That's a huge gift, right? So if you know that you've got a deceased loved one and they're telling you my mind is free, that can be a huge relief for people that were suffering from things like Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, dementia, things that kind of took over their nervous system and brain in ways. This could be a huge gift of relief for you. And it's also a message for you to free your mind, right? All right. After Libra is our Scorpio. So what is it that our Scorpios need to hear for the weekend ahead? It helps us get back in right alignment with ourselves. Okay. Nine of Swords, 8 of Swords. Woo, Scorpio. Doing some worrying. Are you like a full-time worrier? Are you waking up with all kinds of anxiety? Do you remember that it's kind of, you put yourself in that position, right? So 4 planets in Scorpio, sometimes I do. I put myself in the position to worry. And so this weekend, it's like, how can you stay as clean and clear as possible so that you don't end up with a gut full of anxiety, right? How can you just kind of keep yourself out of trouble, it looks like? And how can you just not let the mind take over? Is it true what you're thinking? You know, is it possible that there's another reality or another truth there? Is it possible that time is on your side, that everything's okay? Is it possible there's just nothing to worry about and you're physically picking up on something that you could process through in a healthy way? You know, it looks like there's just a lot of ugh in there. Okay, so sorry, Scorpios. Get out of your ugh, get out of your ugh. Do something physical, sweat it out. You know, any emotions, like cry it out, whatever needs to happen. But the idea here is that maybe you need to give your brain a time out, right? Like maybe the mind isn't helping so much. And for our Scorpios looking for a message from the other side, oh, somebody has an apology to offer. I'm sorry, please forgive me, right? So some of our Scorpios need to offer an amends and some need to accept an amends. Forgiveness and compassion is a major player when it comes to letting the mind off the hook, right? So letting everybody be free to be exactly who they are, trying to get back into no-fault living. For me, the best way to do that is understanding my design, right? All right, let's clear for our Sagittarius. What is it that our Sagittarius need to hear for the weekend ahead? Some simple advice or guidance that lights them up on their journey. Just clearing for our Sag. All right, we get the Moon in reverse and the Ace of Swords. And so it's like we think we know, but we don't know. We don't know what we don't know, right? The Moon is about the mystery and leaning into the, what is it, like the liminal time space, like the area where we just don't know, right? And the Ace of Swords is so sure and so certain and so confident, right? So Sages out there that are feeling so clear-minded, that's amazing. but also leave room for God to work, leave room for spirit to step in, leave room to not know everything. It's okay to be confident and clear, but then also leave room for faith. You know, you don't have to go forward, make all these decisions, initiate, right? Like there's room to be clear and to co-create and to ask the major creator, right? Like the mysterious realm to come forward on your behalf, right? So there's like the dot inside the moon. Here's what we know, and here's what we know we don't know, and then here's all the other stuff that we don't know what we don't know. Did I do that right? You know what I mean. I think I'm saying the same thing, so I'll pause there. A message from our beyond for some of our Sages watching is that I always give you a kiss goodnight, a goodnight kiss. Isn't that sweet? Isn't that sweet? So somebody that needed to hear that today, I hope that works in your nervous system to just calm and soothe and heal something. Maybe your inner child needs a good night kiss, and you can start giving that to yourself. All right, let's clear for Capricorn. What is it that our Capricorn friends need to hear for the weekend ahead? Ooh, the 8 of Wands, something happening fast. So if you're looking for an answer, it might be coming this weekend. If you're looking for a move or a drive, pulled over 2 cards. It might be going super, super fast. Watch out for speeding tickets. Watch out for going too fast. You have a lot of options available to you. And I feel like also there's money going out the window. There's expenses, and it's like left and right. So also just kind of like, was it Cancer that got this? But the Capricorns, I feel like there's some option that it's like time to reduce the options, right? It's time to take some options away. And it's also time to rebudget, refinance, look at what's kind of slipping through the cracks and start to seal up the cracks so that you can hold your energy a little bit better. Lots of energy, lots of possibilities. And I just feel like you need to be looking at what's financially responsible right now, what's a little bit more conservative, and go that route. There's so much things that you could do for free this weekend, you know, that are, maybe you want to do some self-improvement, maybe you want to do some, you just want to read and check out, maybe you want to go do like a free yoga class on YouTube, maybe you want to do a little bit of gardening. There's lots of stuff that you can do for free and also conserve your finances for in the future. You could be I don't know, hopefully that helps. If you were looking for the answer to a question, I do believe you're going to get it this weekend. I believe it's going to come quickly, like an aha. For me, that's sometimes how it works. I could be really troubled about something, and then I'll sleep on it, and the next morning it's clear again. So just know that the answer doesn't have to come in your dreams. It can come after your dreams, and it can come just like a spark of knowledge, right? All right, for our Capricorns, a message from beyond. Lots of these messages of life everlasting. This one says, I'm not dead, right? I'm not dead. So there can be peace in that message too. Hopefully that's useful to Capricorn. All right, let's clear for our Aquarius. What is it that our Aquarius needs to hear? Some simple advice or guidance from our Aquarius. Okay. The 6 of Wands is what fell out. So this is a victory, a win moving forward, buying a car, doing something different with your vehicle, right? Your body. Are you a passenger? Can you get back into passenger consciousness instead of driver's consciousness? Can you get back to enjoy the ride of your life, right, Aquarius? It looks like you are getting very clear that you know exactly what to do. You do have forward momentum and direction. This is probably one of the most positive readings of our day so far, right? So Aquarius, take right action. Think about it, get clear, and then go forward with it. Don't mess around, okay? Very clear. And for our Aquarius, just a reminder that you're never alone. You know, the spirit guides on the other side, your deceased loved ones, your ancestors, those that have gone before you, are with you, right? So having some confidence that you're not alone, that you're clear, that you know exactly what to do, and you have the energy and time and availability to go forward with that, even this weekend. So, all right, good to be an Aquarius. Let's clear now for our Pisces. What is it that our Pisces need to hear for the weekend ahead? Just some simple advice to help them with their weekend. Okay. 3 of coins reversed, 10 of coins reversed. All right. Pisces, some of you guys are feeling drained creatively, or like kind of putting too many eggs in one basket creatively. I would say this is a call for, this is always a good card, whether it's reversed or upright. The 10 of coins, right? There's an abundance going on, but there's an abundance of like feeling creatively drained or blocked or not clear. And you're just kind of tired of being in this magic dark space of like, okay, I've done all the work, I've done everything right, and so what's next? And so this is a courageous conversation that needs to happen with you and yourself. And you know, just ask yourself, do I need to do anything differently right now? Can I just take a pause and enjoy the ride? What do you need to get inspired by? Like, what out there in the world can you use a forced connection in terms of our psychic development? You know, I know all of you Pisces are super psychic, but what needs your creative touch? Like forced connections would be like looking at something and then getting a meaning from it on purpose, right? So I'm looking for something. Okay, I see my plant back there. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. And I'm doing a Pisces reading. Okay, so there's room for growth. Like, go towards the light, stay rooted and grow. You know what I mean? That would be a forced connection. And so some of you Pisces, I feel like you need a forced connection because your normal ways of getting creative or staying connected to spiritual works, like, I just feel like you're kind of feeling a little bit detached in a way. And so fake it till you make it, force a connection, see what you can get by looking at the license plates of the world that go by, right? So play with that. And for you guys, if you have a deceased loved one you wanted to hear from, I send you loving signs through nature, right? All right, so getting creative by looking at nature. Maybe you want to go to an art thing pop up this weekend. Maybe there's something you can do to kind of spark some of that creativity. So a universal reading for all of us. I'm going to use the Yogic Path deck, the Yogic Path deck by Sahara Rose. Really beautiful deck. What is it that we all need to hear or pay attention to? Ooh, LAKSHMI. I'll take it, right? Goddess of abundance. Let's see what she wrote about LAKSHMI. I just think this, so much of the writing in here is so beautifully written. And all right, so let's take a walk down LAKSHMI lane. The goddess of abundance, fortune, and beauty. Yes, right? So very Venusian feeling. It says, many call upon LAKSHMI, but she only comes to few who have earned it. Today, that's you. That's us. We earned it, right? She's the goddess of abundance, physical beauty, ojas, the vital life force energy, good fortune, and fertility. She is the sweetness of the fruit, the petals of the flower, the glistening of the ocean. She is the extra spark that makes certain things beautiful, right? Very much like that Pisces reading. She comes to you with blessings of prosperity for the fruits of your labor. She has recognized your generosity and rewards you in her ways, whether it's financial abundance, radiant health, loving partnership, a comfortable home, good fortune, or impregnation you are seeking. Continue to give freely and lovingly, and so will she, right? So will she. So LAKSHMI, a reminder that life is abundant, that things are going your way, that let things flow to and through you. Don't hang on too tightly, right? Express some appreciation. And all right, guys, have a good weekend. Thanks for hanging out with me. It's going to be okay. LAKSHMI's here. So speaking of LAKSHMI, yesterday I tried the psychic work of guessing the lotto numbers. I got much closer with my guess than the random numbers, and I asked my advanced forensic team if they had a similar experience, and they have. So when you try and you apply your psychic development strategies and techniques to the lotto, you get better numbers than if you were being random. So with LAKSHMI in the air this weekend, if any of you guys are playing the lotto and you want to try some of your psychic development skills, these are things like using the pendulum. You can use tarot and the numbers on there. You can use a forced connection. You can look at license plates. You can do anything with your psychic development. All the tools that you have to try and guess. Maybe somebody will win this weekend. It's a lot of fun. All right. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time. Namaste.